Hey everybody, this is Joseph with my dad.
Rich?
We're coming back again to listen to another album. It's been a little while since we did one. I've been off at college and stuff, so
Busy.
haven't had the you know and busy. Or you've been busy with what, sports and all that fun stuff?
Softball.
Softball.
A lot of softball.
Yeah. So been kind of busy, but I decided that over the Thanksgiving break that we would listen to another album, and we're keeping it kind of in a similar vein. We listened to OK Computer last time, so we're gonna listen to the album that they followed up OK Computer with.
Kid
This is
A.
Radiohead. It's gonna be Kid A, and I got a lot better of a setup now as well. So we're both gonna be listening to the same thing, and well, what is it? The video will also be able to pick up the audio as well, so it's not as awkward either, for that matter. So, the context of this album is, so if you remember, OK Computer came out in like 1997, and it was like it was their most successful thing, and the tour was really grueling and long for them and stuff like that. So they kind of, for a good like 3 years, they didn't really release anything. And then they came out with this, and this was a shock to a lot of people because of how different it is.
Yeah.
So if you remember OK Computer, it was still like it still had the rock essence. It had a lot of guitars and a lot of whatever rock elements. But this one's a lot more electronic, a lot more atmospheric and ambient as well. So I think you'll find it interesting. The lyrics are a lot more cryptic too. It's
Esoteric.
not as poetic per se. It's a lot more like, because the story goes that like a lot of the songs that were on the album, Tom York picked lyrics out of a hat and put them in the song, and then kind of made them make sense in the context of the album. So I
Telling a
think
story.
I think the album sounds a lot like the cover too. The cover is really cool, as well. I'll probably put the cover on screen for y'all to see. I don't know if I could probably edit that in or something, but the first song is Everything in Its Right Place. This one's pretty iconic, so we'll just hop into it. Number one, I'll pull up the lyrics as well. Is that like a good volume?
Yeah.
You hearing it?
Sound
Okay.
like I'm in church.
Huh?
It's the beginning of a church song.
I don't know about the vocal
Little
effects.
keyboards. Uh-oh.
They do it live really cool as well. They like sample his live voice, and they put it into the song.
Yesterday I woke up sucking a lemon.
Yeah.
I don't know. Life is sour sometimes. Yeah. Having to deal with the sourness of life. Drudgery.
Huh?
The drudgery.
Yeah.
The monotony. Sameness. The drag of the day-to-day. I don't know if that's what he was thinking. Lays it down. Didn't change off it.
Everything in its right place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's. So this whole album is like it's like a concept album that a lot of people theorize like it tells a story, like all its tracks like tell a
Yeah.
story all the way through. And I've heard a lot of different like interpretations of it and things like that, but um, so you can, I don't know, like, what did you think of that one? That one's pretty, it's a lot different. It's a lot more electronic, a lot more, like, when you go right from listening to, OK Computer, and then, 3 years later, you hear those, like, first four, like, notes, the da na 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 and stuff. It's like, wow, this is, like, completely different. At
Stayed
least
right on. Yeah.
at
Didn't
least it
change
felt
off
like
it.
that.
He
No.
stated the obvious there. Well, not the obvious, but stated the intention of the song and stayed with it the whole time.
Right.
Yeah. Didn't move off it.
No, it's very like calculated and like in form almost. And I think the live versions do a great job of kind of like mixing it up a little bit and make But yeah, I love that song. That song's really cool, really interesting. Like all the different vocal effects you hear in the
A
background and
lot of
stuff
vocal
like
effects in
that.
the background, just zipping in and zipping out. You know,
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
like coming out from a different area and stuff like that.
And
You could do that just sitting at a keyboards there on
yeah, and
stage
that's
by.
kind of what they
You
do.
could do that on
Right.
stage by yourself in front of a small keyboard. You don't even need a big keyboard to do that.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, and obviously this doesn't have like as much like layering as some modern like productions and stuff like that. But like for the time, especially, I still think it sounds like fresh and pretty modern in terms of like an electronic album. And I think you'll find that like the whole album doesn't stay like that though. I think there's a lot of variability in the track list and the sound of the album. So you just have to see where it goes, kind of what you make of it, what your interpretation kind of the album is,
yeah.
you know.
There's complexity and simplicity. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
simplicity of it doesn't mean that it's not complex. The way
Mm-mm.
he adds in some of the sound in the background and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
obviously it is very
you know,
consistent with that keyboard.
hmm
Obviously, when it comes to
no,
like everything.
lyrically it kind of matches up with the keyboards as well.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And when the keyboard kind of transitions in from the verse, not even there's not really even. I guess there is a chorus. It's everything in its right place and stuff like that. But like how it changes with each like kind of verse or set of phrase or a set of phrase,
Yeah.
and it just kind of like changes the melody like that, and then kind of goes back to that foundation, the opening chords and opening notes like
Yeah.
that. So, but yeah, we'll just have to see kind of
How it
what you
develops.
think, how it
Well,
yeah,
just
because
that
I
little
think
bit that I read about the album itself in
right.
terms of what it was talking about. I don't know, cloning of humanity or where's humanity and whatever, some of that stuff. But kind of curious to see where it goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very much like Y2K, turn of the century. How is technology going to affect us in the 21st century, etc. Stuff like that. Definitely has like themes like that, but I think it has a lot of other themes, especially when we get to songs like How to Disappear Completely and um, stuff like that. I think you'll find really interesting. But next song is the title track, Kid A. So this one is a lot. This one, I think the flow of the album is also great. Like you could listen to it front to back and like just let it flow,
Mm-hmm.
and everything transitions into like one another. They even have a game, like a video game that they made for the 20th anniversary. That kind of has the landscapes of how the album kind of sounds,
Hmm.
and it has another album that they came out with right after this called Amnesiac that also has that kind of soundscape. It's like it all is recorded in the Kid A sessions, as they say. The two albums.
Got a new song starting.
Mm-hmm.
I like the ending more than the beginning. I think I spent too much time trying to figure out where it's headed. And
Yeah, it kind of
just
does.
have to
It
just
kind of
allow
wanders a
yourself to.
bit.
Yeah, you gotta just allow yourself to sponge it in.
Taking the flow of the song.
Take in the flow of the song without any notion of where it's headed.
Yeah.
No simple chorus verse, but just yeah,
Oh no, with this album especially, it's not like a verse chorus verse kind of album. It's
yeah,
definitely like
yeah.
I think you'll get some of that. I think with like songs like Idiotech or like Optimistic, it kind of has a bit more of a simpler. But like at the same time, yeah, a lot of it just goes. This next one is really good. This next one builds and really, so
Yeah, I
you'll
just
get to
thought
see it.
the story could develop more. That's all.
Right.
But that doesn't mean there's not a story
What do you
there.
What do you think? Do you feel like you can kind of see a semblance of anything? I've heard a lot of different
Nothing
interpretations
yet.
of
Yeah.
of like it and that song like a new
Actually, I like
life.
that groove at the end. Groove at the end. It's
Right.
pretty good there with the keyboard and the bass and the drums
And the
with it.
drums,
And
right?
it's,
The electronic
yeah.
drums and
Hmm.
the bass, yeah.
Yeah. You
I
can see where one person could do it in the studio and just overdub on it, but
mm,
I'm sure they didn't do it that way. I'm sure they do it as a band, but
yeah,
yeah,
so I think in this I may not be completely right, but I'll look it up and, you know, add some subtitles, some context, but I'm pretty sure they kind of recorded
mm,
parts individually
yeah,
and they kind of brought it together and then played it kind of as a band and kind of like, okay, this sounds good with that and this
right,
and like that basically. Like you start by yourself and then you kind of bring it all together.
yeah,
Like this is a piece that I wrote. Okay, well
right,
this is a piece and you kind of fit it together like a
hmm,
puzzle, almost.
yeah.
You just fit it together. And that's kind of what they did with this album.
Well,
At
those
least from
those
what I
first two
heard.
songs they go together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, yeah. I'm excited to keep listening. National Anthem is next.
Now you've talked that bass in there.
That's the like this. That's the driving force of the song, is that bass and the drums, the groove. This one's really cool live too,
Yeah, well, we got to the rock and roll.
right? They get those background noises from like I'm pretty sure like how they kind of do it live is they actually get like a radio and they switch into like a
Sounds like
radio
they open up a
station.
closet door and like the ghosts come out and they start screaming and screeching.
Huh?
Sounds like they open a closet door and they're coming out of the laundry room
Right.
and they gotta put them away.
There you go. They get the horns going.
Well, we just throw some horns in there. Like a fusion. It holds the song together with the bass.
It does. Yeah.
Trying to think of, yeah.
But yeah,
It's
Nash.
holding on. No, okay.
What did you think of that one? Now, what did you
Just
think? I love the groove of it. I love the driving bass line and the way it kind of develops and kind of adds the horns and adds the and sometimes I think what's really interesting about live versions again is they don't have horns some of the time. So what
yeah.
they do is they make those like the dun 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 dun, dun the horn
Like the
lines.
horns
They
line?
do it with guitars
Right,
instead. Like
okay.
they make like
Yeah.
the and stuff like that. I just find that so interesting.
Just sounds like they were grooving out and they just kind of built in some layers and they just enjoyed making it. It didn't
Right.
sound like it's not overly complex. It's pretty simple, but there's a lot of complexity there because they just kind of melded in some sounds there that just kind of held it
Yeah,
together.
what do you
That held it
think?
together.
Like, yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's a simple bass line and drum
Mhm.
groove, and
Yeah.
then they kind of just added everything after
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's National Anthem. That one's pretty good too.
I
I
just
think
thought the name of the song was gonna lyrically was
be,
gonna match a little bit more
okay.
of the name
So
of the song.
yeah,
So I'm not sure what the
the
intention was, but not that there had to be any. But I don't.
something like that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the whole dystopian kind of conceptual. Uh,
That's what this one is. This
yeah,
one's a lot
take
more. This
on.
one's a lot more cerebral, a lot more ethereal. It's a lot
Right.
more your own interpretation.
Right.
The OK Computer, you can pick apart the song and be like, this is kind of what it means,
Yeah.
or this is what it means. Like Exit Music, for example.
Yeah.
I was talking about like the Romeo and Juliet theming,
Yeah.
or Let Down, or no surprises and stuff like that. A lot of those songs you can kind of just be like, I kind of understand what that means.
Yeah.
That's what that means, right? Or even Paranoid Android and stuff like that. Something that's a bit more out there. You can kind of understand, or Airbag, whatever. I can name almost all the songs on that, and you can kind of almost get like a central meaning, a central. But with this album, it's really hard to pin down. The first three songs, especially. I think How to Disappear Completely and Optimistic are a bit easier to kind of pin down.
Yeah.
I think on like what they mean and stuff like that. I think that this song coming up, How to Disappear Completely, has a really interesting story
Yeah.
to it. So I'll have to tell you that once you listen to it. And this is regarded as one of their best songs. So
Yeah. It seems that way from the number of views.
so we'll get right into it. It's probably the longest song on the album too.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Sounds like that, right?
Little David Bowie. Where are we going?
I definitely
Ziggy Stardust.
think
We
that.
heading to the
I
stars?
I agree with that. I think that it sounds like that.
Space Odyssey. Let's go.
This is the first time his voice isn't like electronically manipulated either.
It's clearer.
It's clearer, and you can hear that. It's a lot more cleaner tone as well. Very, I think really very cinematic.
Yeah.
I think, you know, the way it adds like the strings and the.
Yeah. Sounded like you could hear like a mandolin guitar, but it was a string section thing. It sounded like a guitar mandolin. It was strings.
Yeah.
That was the best sounding song so far in terms of complexity, for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of a bit easier to like pin down to kind of what it's talking about. So like I mentioned prior, yeah, you know, they toured for OK Computer, and that was a lot. You know, the newfound fame and a lot of, you know, just everything. There was a lot of stress. There was a lot of pressure on the band to really, follow it up and blah blah blah. And,
There is.
be this grand, have this grand spectacle. Match OK Computer's quality and success, right? And I think this song really is like the centerpiece of the album, and it's what represents like it's Tom York specifically, how he wrote the lyrics. It's his kind of anxiety response. After they were done touring and, they were really stressed about it, they kind of disassociated, kind of
Yeah.
just
Disappeared
completely for a while until they were ready to return to that.
Yeah.
And I think what's funny is like this. I think how the story goes is Radiohead are good friends with REM, the band REM, and what is it? It was the front man's name of REM is Michael Stipe, I think.
Yeah.
That's his name.
I don't know. I know what he looks like, but I don't know his name.
And Tom York, that was kind of his advice too, is to kind of that's how the story goes. He kind of told that advice. He's like, hey, sometimes you gotta step back and, I mean, to put it, it's like disappear and just like, reassess. Exactly. And that's kind of how the story, and that's how that was made, and that's like considered one of their best songs. And I'd probably agree, honestly, because I think it's really dynamic, it's really interesting, the messaging is interesting and personal, and I just think it's really enjoyable to listen to as well. Very emotional as well, and it's like, wow, it's like really good, really really good. And I think that's probably the best song on the album too. Not saying that the rest of the songs are bad. I think all the songs on this album are good, but I think that one is just like the most powerful, the most moving, the most interesting, I guess to say.
The best one so far.
So, next is Tree Fingers. This one is a lot different. You'll see. It's no lyrics either. It's completely ambient. So it's comes after How to Disappear Completely, and it's a complete, just like a real, like you kind of relax after that.
Ready to meditate.
Yeah, basically. Honestly, it is like, it's like a meditation. It's like you're floating through the stars or something.
Yeah,
And I really
pointed meditation.
Right.
No 4 count.
No, it's very. It's I forget what they call it, because there's music that you count. That's the, but then there's the where it just kind of doesn't have that.
Time is suspended.
Right. I forget what it's called.
Floating.
There's a specific phrase for it. It's something music, like the music that's has a time signature, and then the music that is kind of absent of a time signature and just kind of goes.
Float.
There's also like a term for that. I'm forgetting the terms, but I'll look them up and I'll let you know.
I heard the Beatles. I hear the Beatles in it. I don't know.
You do?
I do.
Mm.
Not sure why, but I do.
Okay.
Beatles in that.
But yeah, that's the first half. And what is it? Yeah, Tree Fingers kind of is like a reset for the album. It's not really much to say about it. It's just an ambient track. It's nice. It's pleasant on the ears. It's easy listening. It's quiet almost after like so much sound, so much different sounds that you hear in the first four tracks of the album. You kind of get a breather almost. It's like, wow, it's a lot more quiet and peaceful compared to the chaos that kind of is everything in its right place. National Anthem, even How to Disappear Completely and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those songs. So yeah, it's interesting, but it's enjoyable. It's I like it.
Yeah, it was okay to listen to.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think in terms of like what the weakest songs are, I definitely think Kid A and Tree Fingers, although they're more ambient and kind of abstract in their meaning or their placement of the album. I
That was
think
the most abstract
I
song
I,
so
th-
far.
I think the more complex structures of National Anthem and How to Disappear Completely and Everything is Right Place just add a lot more in comparison to Kid A and Tree Fingers, which they're good songs, but they're not,
Yeah.
like some of their best, obviously. I think some of their best is like songs like Everything in Its Right Place, How to Disappear Completely, and stuff like that. But yeah, and do you feel like you're getting any sense of a story at all?
No.
Kind of just nothing.
More in the
Any
beginning than
sense of
now.
right. It
Maybe
definitely
moving
isn't
into
as.
something bigger. I don't know. We'll see.
Mm,
Or something more that adds to it.
yeah,
Yeah. Or
definitely.
addition, maybe.
Let me. Okay.
Optimistic. I'm
Yep.
optimistic.
Next one is optimistic.
Oh, I'm optimistic.
Are you optimistic about it?
Most of the time, cup is half full.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can heads and tails of that then.
That one, I like that song a lot. I think it's really good. I think the groove is really good. I love the way they. It's not really like a snare-driven song. It's like a very like forget what they're. It's like
Rushes.
the bass drums and stuff like that. It's really interesting the way the song kind of goes on like that, and the riffs are catchy, and the chorus is catchy and stuff like that. It's a lot more traditional of a song structure, especially for this album.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you think? Was that good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah. Well, I thought that was much better than the last one.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of structure and stuff, complexity and stuff,
Yeah.
pieces and stuff like that. Then I was trying to figure out the lyrics and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I lost with the dinosaurs at the end. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot
I'm
of
still
that.
optimistic as I was before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like again, it's a lot of like this album. I feel like again, when I was talking about kind of Kid A as well, like the title track Kid A, obviously. The kind of it feels like almost like with Tree Fingers and Optimistic,
Yeah.
almost like again like a reset and a rebirth again, like it kind of describing like how dinosaurs were life before us and blah 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 and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a far reach, and maybe it's just like whatever random lyrics put on just to sound catchy, but I feel like there's a meaning to it, personally.
Yeah. I think I find the randomness to be a bit more prevalent. Uh,
Right.
there's some structure there, but it gets a bit more random for me than structured. It's hard to kind of piece together for me. But
Hmm. Yeah, I think
overall, I like the sound though. It's pretty good.
yeah, I think looking up, I think watching like a video on it, I think watching like certain people's interpretations of
Yeah,
it, I think is really interesting. I could send you a video on like how a certain person kind of interprets it, because I think it is ultimately up to you to kind
yeah,
of what you make of it. I think a lot more, than their first three albums.
yeah.
It's just a lot
I'd
more.
be curious to see somebody sit down and pick Tom York's brain a little bit about where it's coming from and where it's going.
Right.
Just I know if you spoke to the guys in Rush about 2112, they would discuss the dystopian nature of the
Right.
story of no music in the society and no cars in the society and all this other stuff
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
they just
2112 is
so
fantastic. That's a
so
amazing song.
yeah, the concept of the whole dystopianness of where life was headed and stuff
Right.
from Ayn Rand
And
or
I also feel like,
George Orwell
yeah.
or Aldous Huxley, who I happen to think is more correct than the other two,
Hmm.
but that's a story for another day. Yeah,
But yeah, it's very much like that. It's
yeah,
very much kind of in that same vein, I think. And I think a lot of it, even like 2112 and stuff like that, obviously I just feel like, late 90s, the 80s, 90s, late 20th century, early 21st century is defined by a lot of technological advancing, a lot of,
I mean, nobody's really quite sure
connectivity.
where it's
Right,
happening and where it's going, and
exactly.
the
And you can't,
positive effects that it has on the world
hey,
and the
hey,
negative effects as well.
hey, but guess what? You
Yeah,
try to be optimistic.
just be optimistic.
Right, right,
Be
exactly.
optimistic. Yeah,
Um,
you don't want to think that people are developing technologies for nefarious reasons. You want to believe in the essential nature of people's goodness, that they're working towards developing something to make the world a better place and not
right,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
But yeah, optimistic. Next is In Limbo.
I'm in limbo.
It goes, um, yeah, it goes right from optimistic, as you heard there. It kind of takes the ending and kind of goes with it.
Sounds like a windy shoreline.
Yeah, it does.
Interesting way they add sounds at for
Did
whatever
you
reason
hear
at
his
particular time.
did you hear his like kind of almost like his voice reciting some of the lyrics in the
Yeah,
back there at the end, while he was also saying like the comeback and
yeah,
stuff? It's interesting. Definitely, I feel like this album, especially, is like a headphone album. I feel like you get so much, like different, like you hear so many different sounds and so many different things that they kind of add. It's, I think it adds a lot. I think it's really interesting the
yeah,
way they kind of do that, and the way it kind of works almost in a way, and kind of the way it tries to tell a story and stuff like that.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was In Limbo. Kind of follows kind of suit and kind of the sound that Optimistic was like. I feel like it sounds like those are the two songs I think that sound the most similar
Similar.
out of any of the yeah out of any of the
Bit more lost at the
album.
sea. Lost
Right,
at sea.
right, exactly. It almost feels like that for those two songs,
Yeah.
especially. Feels
Boat
like you're
floating on the
drifting
water,
along.
drifting along,
Right.
just kind of
Yeah,
not
exactly. I
sure
That's
what
exactly
compass
what I
heading.
would say.
Yeah, what compass heading you have.
Right, exactly.
Huh.
Yeah. Um, what is it? The next is Idiotech. This one's fun. This one, I think this one's interesting. This one's a popular live one, actually.
Sounds like something hip hop is gonna break out.
Think so.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah. Very beat heavy.
Run
Like.
DMC is gonna jump in and start singing Christmas songs. Got washboard in the background, a little scratchy washboard.
Mhm.
That's what it sounds like.
I always heard like it sounds like dropping coins. The song's pretty intense,
Yeah.
I think. Um, Yeah. Um, but that's Idiotech. That one's actually pretty popular live because I think it's really got a really I think it's a catchy groove honestly, but you know the way the thumping bass and stuff like that, and it's interesting. Yeah, it is. That one's. I feel like with Idiotech, it's like the opposite of How to Disappear Completely.
Yeah.
Basically, How to Disappear Completely is like escapism and being like, oh well, you know, this anxiety is temporary. And Idiotech's like kind of like the opposite, where it's kind of like I don't know, loathing in it. It feels like he's like kind of like panicking, like his mind's going everywhere, and it's like, whoa, it's intense. Honestly, it's intense, but it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
I
this
don't
is
know.
really happening. You know, they sound like
This is really
most.
happening, rather than this isn't happening. I'm not here. It's
Yeah.
this is really happening. This is really happening.
Well, it's the most clearly stated lyrics so far on the album.
Right.
Of and the cloning, if you want to get into that or whatever. But it's just really happening. They stated it very clearly. It wasn't being hidden around any kind of musical sound or anything.
No.
They stated it to very directly in a good groove. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an intense song. That
The
one's
ending I didn't get so much, but I got all of that from the
right.
beginning and the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not sure about the parentheses and.
Yeah, that was the
But
vocal sampling that they do again
in the background
with like everything in its right place. They do that and stuff like that.
As much. The song itself had enough in it that it didn't need any kind of shifting.
Okay.
But,
yeah. I think that's I like the atmosphere of the whole album is very interesting. Very
that was for me just a bit of a detraction from it because it was the first song on the album that I really felt like they were stating something, being direct about it, and the groove made it. The groove made it very
abundant.
Yeah.
Made it very clear and abundant and kind of in your face. I feel like, especially too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, sounds like the way rap talkers when they speak songs, they're very direct.
Well, yeah, it is almost like a rapping.
Yeah,
he's saying the words very very fast and in a flow almost. That's
in a flow, right? Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, that one's really good. That one's really interesting. And we got two more songs. Morning Bell, Motion Picture Soundtrack. Next one's Morning Bell. This one is got a good groove to it. It's like an odd time signature groove. I hope I think you'll pick up on it.
Sounds like La Villa.
And it goes, as you heard the sound effects, it goes from in Idiotech and it kind of moves into this one.
Kind of drum beat that Neil has on La Villa before Alex does his guitar piece. Sounds like a marital battle.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think if that is actually that might be the right lyrics. I think it's pretty interesting. This song especially.
Where'd you park the car? Clothes are on the lawn.
With the furniture.
Furniture.
The lights are on, but nobody's home. Nobody. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, that's cool. That's interesting. You picked up on that. I didn't necessarily pick up on that completely, but yeah, it does sound like that. Yeah, that's an interesting song too, because on their next album, Amnesiac, they have a version of it as well.
From beginning to end, it's pretty clear.
That's different.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Morning Bell is pretty good. I like that song a lot. I like.
Wake up in the morning and release me. Trying to figure out everything, all the details of the day. Yeah, complexity. Yeah.
And that's the one with the odd time signature. It's 5/4.
I like that.
It's pretty odd, but it's got the.
I was half a beat off on the snare drum.
Yeah. But yeah, Last song, motion picture soundtrack. This one's really good. This one's a really. It sounds to me. It sounds really sad, honestly. But you'll just have to see. Untitled it this song as well. It's like a little like outro bit. It's just like a little ambient piece at the end. But we can listen to it through. We can just listen to the motion picture soundtrack. And just listen to it through. So that's what we'll do.
Freebird.
What?
No,
Huh.
I heard Freebird.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today. That's what it sounds like. Dearly beloved.
Let's go crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bit more somber in
Yeah.
tone, but
It is.
okay. And
Sound like I was at the beach.
with that is Kid A. That one's a lot different than OK Computer. I think Idiotech, Morning Bell, and Motion Picture Soundtrack are the strongest like 3-track run of songs that really add a lot to the album. I think the ending of the album, they really stick the landing with that one. And I think Untitled is this weird little ambient piece. I think maybe in the original records it was Motion Picture Soundtrack and it just had that at the end.
Yeah.
That's why it's kind of listed at like that on streaming services like Untitled, but I could be wrong. It could be its own thing, just simply called Untitled, but it's just a little like ambient thing. But yeah,
You could have put some kind of name or something on it.
you think so?
Yeah. Rush had an uncanny way of putting certain weird names to songs that were just pieces of Neil drumming.
Right.
Whatever. So yeah, I mean,
But like just like I guess as a whole, like thoughts on what you liked, what you didn't, It's really
4, 8, and 4, 8, and 10, right?
it's really
Disappear completely. Idiotech, motion picture.
were those like those the ones that stood out to you the most? Those three.
Yeah, I liked Optimistic as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Optimistic. It's a. I think.
still try to draw up like the whole thing together.
Right.
I see some symmetry that runs throughout the songs that try to tell a story, but I still don't get crystal clear. I don't get clarity on because the directness isn't there.
Right.
It's
not.
It comes at things from the side.
For me personally, with Kid A, I I had heard OK Computer and I liked it, and I heard this album and I was like, I don't really know what to think. It took me like a good 2 or 3 listens to kind of really appreciate it. Actually, personally, for me, I listened to it 2 or 3 times to really like appreciate it and be like, oh, I can kind of draw a line through this. I've heard, I've listened to the album with other people and I've kind of heard their opinions on it.
Just seems kind of mystical. It seems like they're trying to infer some cultural or societal inferences. They make a lot of inferences in the songs, but they don't come out and say it. And they kind of, I don't want to say beat around the bush, but they kind of work around
directly saying a message or a word or something like that.
Yeah, the music kind of is kind of ethereal, and it kind of makes inferences to cultural matters or societal matters or human qualities or whatever. But they don't come out and actually say it. So there's a inferring that has to go on, and you're left wondering, okay, what is it they're trying to state here? So unless I were to see an interview with Tom York and he were to be asked direct questions,
right?
I wouldn't know. He could say, "Yeah, I wrote that song when I was stoned." And this is what came about,
Right.
And I would say, like, yeah, okay, I appreciate it now. I'm glad you said that. But he could say that, well, we were trying to get people to think by inferring things and get people to see things from a different angle or perspective. But I don't know without seeing an interview from him. I
Right.
can't really say
Yeah,
what kind
I'll
of
have to find
headspace
one.
they're in.
Honestly, I haven't really, in terms of like the band's say on this one. I've heard, their thoughts on a lot of different songs, and their in terms of like what they think some of their greatest songs are. Personally, like them as a band, How to Disappear Completely is on there. Um, just it's widely regarded as like one of their
Yeah.
best songs, and Motion Picture Soundtrack, true. I think that's a very impactful closing track to the album. And yeah, I would I have not heard much of what like the band has to say about Kid A. I've heard a lot of interpretations from other people, but
Yeah, and you're inferring and you're trying to guess, but if you were to see an interview by him and he would have a good interviewer, just ask him some direct questions. You may get uh, you may get scattershot answers, but you may not. You may get more direct answers like, "Yeah,
a lot of the
this
time,
is what we were
yeah.
going for,"
Mm.
or he may kind of be evasive and kind of leave it up to you on purpose to be mystical. And
And that's what I've
I've,
always thought
I've
about it.
I've known people that are that way as well.
I've always thought about it like at least Kid A that way is like with other albums of theirs, Hail to the Thief, In Rainbows, OK Computer, The Bends, everything like that. You kind of get theming a lot more directly than in with this album specifically.
Yeah.
This album I would actually say is their second most abstract. I think their most abstract is still when King of Limbs is pretty abstract too. That's a later album of theirs. But I would say Amnesiac is also really like abstract. Amnesiac, I would say Kid A is even more direct than Amnesiac. Amnesiac is very scattered and very like weird
Yeah.
and like yeah, a lot more
Could leave you
weird
thinking,
than
if you're asking, hey, what'd you come up with this Amnesiac album? We were all just sitting around stoned. This is what we laid
I
down.
mean, if you
I don't know the men in the band. I don't know the people in the band. I can't say.
right.
It's not for me to say, but
The Kid
whatever.
and like I was saying earlier, they made a game with those two albums in mind. It's called the Kid Amnesia like experiment or
Mm-hmm.
exhibit or something like that, exhibition or something like that. But it the visuals kind of say it all. It's vague visuals and like really interesting like abstract art and visuals and stuff like that. And it's like maybe that's what they're going for with the music too. I think it just makes sense. At least this era, Kid A and Amnesiac, 2000 with Kid A and 2001 with Amnesiac. It's like they have like a certain like etherealness to it. Here I can pull up the like cover for Amnesiac as well as right here. It kind of has a similar theming
Mm.
to Kid A and has the same amount of tracks, and it's interesting. I think Amnesiac is a lot weaker of an album than Kid A is, but it's still worth a listen, I think. And there's a lot of songs on Amnesiac, such as Pyramid Song, that are some of their best, and also like Spinning Plates, for example, is a lot better live when they do like a live acoustic piano or something like that. Because this is like a really electronic track on the album,
Yeah.
but then you take it and you hear like a piano and they put like a direct melody to it, and it sounds like wow, it sounds really great. Like the song kind of comes together
Yeah.
completely, you know. But yeah, the headphones down. So what do you think the setup was good?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I thought that was so much better and smoother. I was hearing the same thing you were the whole time. I
At the
didn't
same time.
I didn't have to think about having to pause and unpause it on my phone and on the computer or whatever and have the phone get away on me and
Yeah.
be playing and stuff like that. So that was really good. I think the mic was fine. Unfortunately, the stand I kind of broke a little bit, but it's okay. But yeah, that was Kid A by Radiohead. You know, I have a bunch more albums to show you. Definitely a bunch more, suggestions. I'll take any suggestions from any of the, if anyone leaves a comment,
Sure.
anything like that. I'll take suggestions as well. I just started off pretty simple. I think, Radiohead's a pretty big band. They're my favorite band. And I was like, I think they're good albums to discuss and to listen to. And I think they do a lot of different things with all their albums. I think each one of their albums, you can really, they're their own thing. They don't do the same thing twice, which I like.
Yeah,
So,
something worthy of exploration for me is to find out more about who they are and what they're about.
hmm
Uh,
and
they certainly don't come out and state it. They kind of work around, and it's a very interesting sound.
mhm.
Very
and Kid A,
unique.
for a lot of
Very
people,
unique. Right.
right? And Kid A, for a lot of people, a lot of people say it's one of the greatest left turns in music history. The
Uh-huh.
OK Computer to Kid
Uh-huh.
A is really just really different, and yeah,
Well, they maybe wanted to get to that from where they were. Maybe it was easier for them. Uh,
it seemed
every
like
band
it,
goes
yeah.
through transitions and different periods and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Uh, you know,
Yeah, definitely.
I know there's 4 different Rush bands, so um, through the years, you come up with different sounds for different reasons, stress
Mhm.
reasons and stuff, maybe, or just
I think it's really
creative
what it
influence.
is. What it is when it comes to like different sounds, is it comes to like influence, but also like the artist wants to keep things interesting for themselves. They want to
Right.
make something different. They want to challenge themselves.
Fresh. Yeah, they're always
And
looking for fresh.
an artist that influenced this album, specifically the song "Idiotech," was I don't know if you ever heard of this artist before. You definitely have to. I'll definitely have to show you an album from them. Yeah, from it's Aphex Twin. I don't know if you've ever heard of them,
No.
but it's one artist. But he is really he's where they got the ambient elements of this. He makes ambient music. It's
Right.
not no lyrics, no. It's like a
Just
lot of
moves.
ambient
A lot of
music.
movement.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
and it's really
Wow.
good. Well,
Well,
that was
floating on the
that.
water. Yeah.
Thanks for joining me again, and
That was great. Let me
definitely
know
have
when
to
you have that all,
definitely have to do
edited
more.
up and stuff.
Definitely, I will. Okay, well, see you later, guys.
Thanks for watching.